Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Welcome to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Today's episode is brought to you by Pure Anada, Fabricland, Winkler, and Evolve Green. Today's episode is the return of Coffee with Graeme to ASTV Productions, and I can't be happier to bring you this interview with Desmond Plante, or aka Dessy Plante, as that's what me and all of his friends call him. It's Dessy Plante joining me on today's show, and Dessy is a player that's had a chance to play his past 2 seasons in the MMJHL for the St Boniface Riels, as well as the Fort Garry Twins. He was back on the Fort Garry Twins roster this season, but didn't have any games played as listed on the MMJHL website. But in today's interview, we actually didn't talk about his junior hockey career in the MMJHL. We actually decided to dive into his high school hockey career with the Collège Béliveau Barracudas boys high school hockey team. Dessy had a chance to play there for 3 seasons from 2015-16 all the way up until 2017-18. In today's interview, I had a chance to get some stories from him about his experiences there, how he developed as a player, what it was like developing in the culture that was set by this team, along with some other things. In today's edition of Coffee with Graeme with former Béliveau Barracuda Dessy Plante here on ASTV Productions. Joining me now is the man himself, Desmond Plante, or I like to call him Dessy Plante, joining me on this edition of Coffee with Graeme. Dessy, thank you so much for joining me today, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I always wanted to get you on the show to just talk about that junior hockey lifestyle in the MM, as well as your career with the Belly Barracudas. So yeah, how's your day been going, man? Have you had a chance to go tee some up today, go on the course?
Oh, no. First off, I can call you G-Show, or I got to call you Graeme on this?
Hey, man, you can call me Graeme, G-Show, whatever you want, whatever you're feeling.
G-Show, homies. G-Show, thanks for having me, buddy. It's been a long time waiting. I'm pretty fired up to be here. Yeah, wait. First, I can't wait for do this, and then I can't wait till you get an R-rated podcast, and we can really let her fly. But happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Yeah, unfortunately, this can't be an R-rated podcast, but maybe down the line we'll do something like that. It'd be a lot of fun to have all the boys on. But yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome to just get into just your career in the MMJHL so far, as well as your career playing high school hockey for the Béliveau Barracudas. Just going back into your high school hockey career, I mean, you had a chance to spend 3 seasons with the Cudas. You had a chance to appear in 3 straight semifinals. Seems like you guys felt like it was your year every year, but just seems like something didn't go right in every one of those semifinals. But just going back into that first year, 2015-16, playing on a loaded Béliveau Barracudas team in C Division, just what was that like transitioning, coming in as a rookie, playing your first year of high school hockey?
Oh man, that's time flies. That's for sure. That was probably one of the funnest hockey moments of my life. That 3 years we were there, and yeah, I went to Béliveau in grade 7. Always wanted to play on the hockey team. Went and watched a couple games when the boys were out in I think it was Warren, and I was like, "Okay, I gotta play here." And the rookie tournament was kind of where I said, "Hey, you know what? Let's go try it out. Let's go have some fun, make the team." And Scott Costin, the head coach there, he was a big fan of my game, just being a POS. Can't say it out there, but just being one of those out there running around, being the smallest guy, chirpiest guy, and he took a liking to it. That's his style of play, and that year was incredible. The guys, like I had Malik Gibbons as my captain, as our captain. Yeah. He was my vet. Those guys taught us culture. So like we were grade 10, what are you, like 13, 14, 15 years old? I think. Yeah. So none of us had cars. So Malik and all the older guys, they would drive you to practice. Like I got Nathan Agar, our goalie. He lived on my street. So he texted me at 6:25 every day, every Tuesday, Thursday. Hey, I'm picking you up. Take me to practice. And then Malik would drive me to school. He'd buy me McDonald's every practice. It was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Having a guy like Malik, a guy like Nathan Agar, just the vets you had on this team to come in your first year, for them to just welcome you guys in with open arms, just speaks of how tight-knit this team was able to become, and a big reason why you guys were able to become so close over the years with every team you had was just that family culture that you built up. How huge was that in your first year, just having a guy like Malik to depend on, him being your captain, a guy like Nathan Agar, the guys there to show you the ropes?
Yeah, they were huge. They were huge because we were still young kids and just done grade 9, started high school. So there's a lot of things to learn on and off the ice. And yeah, having a guy like Malik, like I don't know if people can tell on the screen, I'm now a different color. I'm black, so having Malik there was great because he was like a big brother to me. I don't got siblings, so I considered him a big brother because he was another colored guy on the team. And it was huge having leaders like that because in the room they'd keep people accountable, and at the same time they would really reward you and give you a high five or a tap on the head if you did something well. And it really built a culture. It was more of a family feel. That's how I would say, because you're growing with these guys. They've been together for 3 years, so they wanted to incorporate us into the culture, and the only way to bring someone into a culture, into a team, into a, I guess you could say, organization, is make them feel like their family. Like, so he brought me under his wing and he taught me a lot of things and a bunch of other guy things, and it was great.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you guys ended up having one of the best seasons in Béliveau hockey history, regular season wise at least. You guys end up finishing with the best record in C Division that season with a 17-3-2 record. I mean, 105 goals for, 42 goals against. But for you, coming in as a rookie, coming into this team with so much experience, what would you say was your role in that first season, just in terms of what you were asked to do on the ice?
Oh, geez, I was a fourth line guy.
Fourth line guy? Yeah.
I was a fourth line guy, and it was if you saw the people on that team, they were stacked. Like, we were pretty vet loaded. You had guys like Zach Bone, Nick Lavish, they were all second year guys. And then the third year guys, we had the Andrew Kleins, Malik, Ben Carrier, who else? Jay Dion. We had a couple really good vets. Dom Coursell, another beauty. So looking at the roster, I'm like, okay, I'm not the most skilled finesse guy here. I'm not going to be playing top line minutes. So in my head, and I know me and Scotty had this conversation, it was, hey man, you're going to start here, but you have 3 years. You got 3 years to work your way up. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. The teams we played were like C-Div then compared to now was lights out. Like you had guys like Brandon Zastri on St. What team was he? The Canadians. Oh my God. That guy single-handedly took us out of the playoffs. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think I was at game one of your guys' semifinal matchup against them. And just, wow, Brandon Zastri, what a talent that guy was. And just, you know, having such a good team, of course, with you being a fourth line guy, just seeing all the talent around you guys, just the goaltending was there, the defense was there, the offense was there as well. To not be able to get that done in that year with that team, just what was that? How hard was that feeling to process? Just it's always hard to lose, but to lose to a team like that with the team so good, just how hard was it to take that loss at first?
It was tough, but you know what? It kind of built like the me, Quinn, Gags, Gladish wasn't there. Riley Young, yeah, he was there too, and us, our little core of 4 or 5 guys that were the rookies. It showed you how time goes by fast. Like, yeah, we're starting out in grade 10. We still got 3 more years. So like if we lost, yeah, I was very sad, but back in my head, I'm like, I got 2 more years of this. But then it kind of brought to reality. You see the Doms, the Maliks, the Bennies, all those guys, they're tearing up and they're all sad because they know this is the end of the road. So to get out to that round, it was tough because like we were so stacked. I would say that was probably the best Béliveau team I was on, and just to go out like that and see these guys all emotional is tough, especially Dom. Like he lived, breathed, you know him, he lived, breathed Cudas. So it was tough, but it really helped us grow as hockey players and people as well. Cause seeing guys like you want to do it for those guys, like seeing the Maliks and all those vets lose and be so sad and broken about it. The next year you want to come back and, hey, I want to win for those guys that couldn't. It's kind of how we kind of looked at it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you saying that was probably the best Cuda team you ever played on, with this team winning the championship in B-Div in 2019-2020. I'd say that you'd probably agree that 2015-16 squad you guys had is probably the best Cuda team to never win the chip.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, you're spot on there. Like our decor was so good. Like we had Malik and Benny Carrier, probably the smoothest skating guy, and looks so effortless. It was frustrating because you see this guy skate up the ice, and I'm like, man, he's not even trying, and he's that good. And you had him, Cam Desharnais, and Dawson were, they were second-year guys, so they were a great decor. And we had Riley Young and Gags. Gags was a D, then he moved to forward. So like in that playoff series, our fourth line was 4 guys.
Wow.
We had but that was a little tough just going through the rotation. But then at the back of your head, you got to think, hey, like we had Jobby Bow, Brolin Stark was on our fourth line, and me and Riley were like, hey, you know what? Let's give him the ice time. This is his last potentially 6 games left in the playoffs. He's never going to play again. So hey, let's let him go. We got 2 more years, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you've had a chance to go to a lot of places with this team, like the Verdun tournament. I know you boys always seem to talk about that one a lot. The Moncton tournament, even more so. Just what's it been like just getting able to travel to these different places? I mean, I didn't even bring up Nashville either, where you guys traveled to in 2017-18. Just traveling to all these cool places. Just is that something you pictured you would have been doing? Just going to places like, of course, Verdun's closer than Moncton, but places like Moncton and Nashville when you started off your career?
No, I never thought that we would go on. Like, I think growing up, I never played on like the AAA, AA team. So playing A1, our nicest travel was going down to, I don't know, Moorhead, Minnesota. And then we got banned from that tournament. There was some issues. And it was pretty funny with parents, but we got banned from that. And the farthest place we went was like, I don't know, Dauphin or maybe Dryden. But yeah, going to Cudas, and they're like, hey, we're going to Moncton, New Brunswick. I'm like, never been there. That's an off the board place for tournaments. And what a time. It was awesome because I think only the moms came, like maybe 5-6 moms came. So it was just pretty much all the boys. It was a great bonding trip. we had some crazy stories back there in Moncton. We land in Moncton, and I swear to God, the snow was like 4 feet tall. It was as tall as me. The snow was nuts. It was insane. But that tournament was so much fun. G-Show, like we had a couple injuries. Like I broke my thumb in the first shift.
Wow.
That sucks. Yeah. So I had to go to the hospital, get that fixed up. We had Suchi, he cut his thumb open on a skate. Kleiner broke his collarbone, but we were resilient enough to get it done. Scotty had a hell of a speech in our final championship game before, and I was like the guys were just so fired up. It was like, we're not losing this game. And it was funny, but at that game too, our whole team caught bronchitis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nuts.
The plane ride home off, and it was funny because we're boarding the plane to go home, and Kleiner is so sick he pukes in a bag. Walking down the aisle of the plane, and they kicked him off, and then Scott and him had to stay there for like 3-4 more hours. It was brutal.
Wow.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah. That's crazy. You boys went through a war, battled for each other, came out with that dub. And I remember this one story. I forget who it was, but I think it was like the guy running the tournament. He said something to you guys and it kind of motivated you. Could you take me into that experience, or I'm just thinking of something imaginary in my head?
That's a good question. I think there was somebody said something about this team from Winnipeg, or it was a local team. So it was Moncton, Fredericton, and a couple other little small towns out east. And we came in as like the outsiders. So no one wanted us to win. And I think, I forget the story, but you're right. Someone did say something. And Scotty came in the room just fuming. He's like, you know what? Use a couple words. This. We're going out there. And he really pumped up the boys to show our country, show our province, our city, our team off, and take it to the homeboys.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys did that by capturing the tournament championship. So you'd say like that moment when whoever that guy was said that maybe one of the best things that could have happened to you guys before the tournament even started, to just fuel you guys even more to be able to go out and win that chip.
Oh, for sure. And like the coaches will always say, like, if you're going to do something, why not do it at your best capabilities? We took 2 flights. We're all the way out in the Maritimes. We're out in Moncton, New Brunswick. Why not just show up, do our best we can, rip it up, and see what we can do? And that was that tournament we came together a lot because we're on the plane together. We're in the rooms together, having a good time, going to dinners, breakfast, all that. And it really brought everyone together because I remember one shift we're playing this team from Fredericton. So we're at the face-off. They speak French, so the whole team spoke French. So I go to the face-off dot, and I go up to the guy because like I speak French. So I'm like, "Hey, mon ami, comment ça va?" Like, "Hey, how's it going, buddy?" And this guy's got long hair, brutal style, and he looks at me and he dropped a couple of racist remarks. I'll put it that way. And I'm just like, okay, like I'm ready to go the guy. And then ref looks at me, he's like, "Hey, I got it. I just got to drop the puck." I'm like, all right. Kid's laughing. They drop the puck. He's laughing in my face. Corner of my eye, Nick Lavich comes skating full speed, sucker punches the kid right in the face, drops him. Just drops the kid. Huge scrum ensues, and we go back to the bench, and Scotty's like, "What the hell happened?" He's like, "He called Dessy some pretty mean stuff." He's like, yeah. And then they go on the intercom. Number 10, kicked out of the game, major for racial slur. And right there, I was like, what a team we got. Like, my guys got my back no matter what. So it was a great bonding experience and a great time.
back on this edition of Coffee with Graeme with Desmond Plante. I like to call him Dessy, of course. My good friend joined me on the show today just talking about his Béliveau Barracudas high school hockey career. We got into just some great memories, especially that memory from the Moncton tournament that he has of just them going through war and battling to win that chip. And yeah, if you guys missed that first segment, go check it out after this episode's done airing because pretty good story for sure. But yeah, we're going to continue talking about just Dessy's high school hockey career. In that first year, like you said, you were a fourth liner. In that second year, of course, with the third year players aging out the year before, I'm sure that you had more opportunity to play a bit higher up in the lineup. So did you have a chance to move up a bit in the lineup in that 2016-17 season?
Oh yeah, it was a lot better. Got a little bit more opportunity, and I know throughout the year I played a little bit on the fourth line. Then this is my favorite line of all time. I played with Quinn and Gil, who are two just skilled little
Wow.
guys.
Yeah.
It was a great line. But the
Yeah.
number one line I played on was me, Matt Gaggs, and Nick Lavich. This was our third line checking line. Oh, buddy, did we have a time? Like we just dumped in chase all game, worked them down low, and so when we went to Moncton there, I think we got put together a little bit before that, and we were just rolling. I think we were personally our team's best line, just grinding everyone down, getting in faces, and Nick ended up winning MVP that year, or not that year in the tournament, and yeah, I got a lot more opportunity.
Yeah, in the turn, yeah.
Started playing PK, no power play, wasn't that wasn't in the skill set. But yeah, that line I had with Gaggs and Lavich was something to remember. We just instant chem, and I think I went from like 6 to 8 points that game, and then or that season, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun being an impactful player for sure with that line.
Yeah, and just for you to be able to get that opportunity to be able to play with a Matt Gaggs, like a Nick Lavich, obviously you got, like you said, that was the check in line for you guys. Just for you to be surrounded by talent like that, players like that, for you to be able to grow your game with players like that, where would you say that you saw the most growth in your game in that 2016-17 season?
Yeah, no, definitely. So the year before, playing L4 with four guys was a little tough to get touches and make some plays. But then getting a little next year, getting older, getting bigger, not height wise, but getting to play with some better guys. And yeah, it gave me a lot better opportunity. I definitely saw a lot of growth. And you get adjusted to the league. So coming in and when I was 14 years old, I had to be like, oh man, like 4'9", playing against 18-year-old men. Like, for example, Malik Gibbons was 6'3", 225. Like, and the guys in C-Div were huge. They were just monsters. And seeing like you go to a draw and you see this one guy, you're like, oh my God, why am I here? So the first year is an adjustment period. Then the second year, you're used to it. You're used to the speed, the game, the players, everybody. The coaches know you, your players know you. So it definitely changed a lot that year.
And for you, just coming in as a smaller player in that first season, just in your second year, like you said, you adjusted nicely to the speed, to the game. But for you, in terms of off-ice training, when would you say that you really started to emphasize that and implement into that, just your training routine out there?
Ooh. Well, what happened with that was in grade 11, I think 2016. Yeah. So around 2016, grade 11, I started boxing. So I was always a fiery guy, run my mouth. Could I defend myself exactly? Yeah, probably not. So my dad, he refs boxing as a hobby, and he's like, oh, you should go start boxing. So I started boxing, and that was pretty much my off-ice training, was just boxing, getting punched in the face, get a nice bloody nose, get tough. And yeah, like if anyone out there needs a good workout, you go to a boxing gym, you're gonna be puking for 10 days. It is the best workout. You're ripped, you look good, you're in great shape, and you can also give someone a good poke too. So that was my off-ice routine for sure.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about that. You went into like competitive boxing, and I'm pretty sure you were the provincial champion of Manitoba, weren't you?
I
Yeah.
was, yep, yep. I let everybody know. I let everybody know back then for sure. But like being
Yeah.
a smaller guy, at G show, it's like you're not really respected. So if you're a smaller guy, like let's say Johnny Goudreau, he's
Right.
small, but he's the best player on the ice. He moves around like a little water bug out there, and you're like, okay, I got respect for that guy because he's super skilled. But if you're a small guy and you're not that finesse guy, you're just a hard nosed player, just like go north south. That's it. It's you got to build that respect. So the first year I got bullied around. Oh my god, I got killed. I got killed. But with that, thank God Malik and some of the big boys like Desharnais and Benny were there, else I would not have survived. But being a smaller guy, you need to learn how to get your respect. If it's not going to be skill wise, okay, I'm going to show my respect by hitting guys, beating in their face, being a pest, doing all the hard work, working hard, and then being able to defend yourself at the same time. So being a smaller guy, it's kind of got to pick whichever lane you're in, whichever way your skill
Yeah.
set goes, you pick
Yeah.
whichever one suits you best. So boxing, try to get tough, let everybody know, like be on the ice, be like, yeah, I'm provincial champ, buddy, let's go. That kind of
Yeah.
that kind of turned some guys away, but yeah, it's all about getting respect, and
Yeah.
with that, it really helped out on the ice and off the ice.
Yeah, and let me tell you, just from a fan's perspective, from a fan's point of view, just hearing just all the fans that support you guys at Béliveau just talking about how much of a warrior you were just speaks volumes about just the type of impact that you had on that team and just going into that. I mean, of course, like everyone that's played for the Béliveau Barracudas, how crazy, how rabid this fan base is when they come to games. Just talk about that experience of being able to play in front of, like you guys state, the best fans in high school hockey.
Oh man, it was what a time. What a time. Because it's like Belleville is a very small school. Everyone's very tight knit. Everyone, like your grade, you have 100 kids. Everyone
Yeah.
knows everyone. Everyone converses with everybody. It's not like you're at Glenlawn with 2,500 people. Everyone has their little cliques. It's everyone's one piece. So game day, so the hockey guys, like, did we kind of go around the school acting like we were like our some don't stink? Yeah, a little bit sometimes, but it was genuine. It wasn't trying to be that cocky jock guy. It was just like we had a good time in the hallways. We'd always walk together. One thing I love about high school and the coaches set right from day one was dress code. So you show up and like that's how everyone knows. That's a great way to promote yourself. Is you show up to school, you're looking in a suit, you look good, the girls are looking, teachers are looking, everyone looks good. Whole team looks fire. So that's just one way because it's a small school. So guys, everyone sees you in suits. Hey, boys got a game tonight, right?
Yep.
And the school is really good at promoting. Like I know in my first year, Dom, I think it was Dom and maybe someone else would put on their Twitter. They would go, okay, if there's 50 Cuda fans, I will take 2 of you guys out to the Red Lobster. Or we would make jokes about if we have 100 fans, we will be giving away a Dawson Forbes signed autograph,
Yeah.
authentic jersey, just stuff like that. And it was great. Like the fan support we had packed games. My mom was a big fan, giving the Go Cudas. That was a
Yeah.
big up for sure. And yeah, it was awesome because it's like you look at the bubble now in the NHL, like that's gotta be tough playing in front of no fans.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be
For
tough.
sure.
So we had a really good home ice advantage. We had great fans. I know my boys, my group of buddies, they would come and just be the most rowdy guys there, and it was a great time. I loved playing in front of our school, and the teacher support too.
Yeah. The teachers, along with that, like the principals, like Musso and I forget was Lamoureux. I think was I think she was the vice principal during the time, but just all the support from the staff, the fans, whether these kids are in grade 12 or grade 7, just people all coming out to support their Cudas and always. They call it the Cuda tank for a reason, right? It's crazy just how deadly that atmosphere was. But just diving into that 2017-18 season, coming off another semifinals loss, you guys end up losing players like Matty Lauren, Zach Bone, Cam DeHarnay, just 2 goaltenders as well. Just coming into that season, losing a bunch of vets, having to go with new goaltending. Just what was that like preparing for that season, knowing that this was your last chance to have a chance to win a chip after losing in two straight semifinals, with losing all of that talent into just building what you guys built up in that season?
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough because that year we went to Béliveau and we played Steinbach, and man, they were so stacked. They were so good. Like it was so tough to beat those guys, and we didn't, unfortunately. We had some really close games, but we couldn't get it done. So after losing Maddie, like your cousin, Boner, Lavich, my line mate, my running guy, like Desharnais, Dawson, Holloway that guy was a huge loss too. He was the best goaltender in the league by far. So going into that season, it was like we'll be in the summer, meet Quinn, Gags, Gilly, sitting down, golfing, talking about the next year, and it's like, wow, like time flies. We're the vets now. We're in grade 12. Like this is like we gotta take ownership. We gotta take accountability. We gotta lead this team as far as we possibly can go. And Quinn got to see. He really led us to. I was talking about before, building culture, right? So building culture, we all learn from the guys ahead of us, the Maliks, the Andrew Kleins, the J. Dions, the Dom Quircels. We learn from those guys how to treat the rookies. The next year, we learned from the Laviches, the Bones, the Maddies. And then when it came our year, it's like, okay, we got to do the same thing that we were taught by these older guys. Driving these kids to practice, driving them home, taking them out. So we do wing Wednesdays at Smitty's.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Well, it's all about building camaraderie, because at the same time, like if you're going down to block a shot, am I blocking it for myself? No, I'm not blocking for myself. I don't want to get a welt on my foot. It's going to hurt like a heck. I don't want that. Why am I blocking the shot? I'm blocking it for my boys. I'm blocking for my goalie. I'm blocking for the guys on the bench. And that's what we tried to build, was continue the culture. So from the time we started to the time we were becoming the big guys there, it was build culture, treat these guys with respect. Millie, Julian, Thor. I consider Millie my little son. That's what I still call him. He calls me father every time I see him. And it's all about building culture and showing these guys what it's like on the ice, off the ice. Rookie parties are great. And it's all about incorporating, because sometimes you hear about rookieing is like hazing and looking down on the person. We thought, nah, we're not going to put it that way, because we weren't treated that way.
Yeah.
So it's all about bringing them in, making them feel welcome. Because once you feel like you're a part of a team, you're going to go dive in front of that shot. You're going to go do this. You're going to do that. So when we got to that age and that we were the vets, it was Quinn, the rest of the leadership group, everyone, the coaches were like, hey, let's step up and let's get it done.
Talking about that 2017-18 season, even though like you said, it seemed like that culture was, for me anyways, just looking at these stats and watching you guys play, was evident again, because even though you guys lost vets like Maddie, Nick Lavich, Cam DeHarnay, Bone, just all the guys you lost, you guys were still able to finish third in the Winnipeg Free Press division with a 13-7, 0-2-2 record. And you guys make it to another semifinal. So just for this program to have so much consistency throughout the years, even though you guys were never able to make it up over the hump, but to have that consistency of always being in the run for competing for a championship, I feel like you would agree that it speaks to not only the culture, but just what this coaching staff was able to do with just bringing in the types of talent that they did throughout the years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll break that off. So, like I said before, the year that we were becoming the vets, all of us knew you didn't have to tell anyone that was a vet. You got to step up. Like there's no one ahead of us that has to. The vet group. You have to be the best person, the best player you can be on the ice. The guys underneath, the Suchis, I don't know who else was on that. Suchi, I don't know. There's a couple other guys, but they knew they had to step up. It's not just a grade by grade. If you're the vet, you're the best. No, it's a collective thing. So I know for the leadership group, we all say, okay, we got to step up. We got to be the best. We got to try and be the best. And what was your second question, sorry?
Just talking about how that how the culture, the coaching staff was able to go in hand to just that consistency that you guys had throughout the 3 years.
They held everybody accountable. I'll tell you that. So I remember one of my first practices in grade 10. I guess we were kind of fooling around on the ice, having fun, whatever. And Scotty blows his whistle and he brings us in. He's like, "Okay, boys, I'm going to give you guys a choice. Do you want to run this program like an actual hockey program and like a AA standard and like we're going to be hard on guys and be accountable and whatever? Or do you just guys want to have fun and we'll stop having practices 2 times a week? I want every guy to come talk to me man to man or call me whatever and say which one you want." So when he did that, I'm assuming most guys said, "Yeah, let's run it. Let's have a good time. Let's be an actual program." Right there, that built culture. So I remember I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, this is legit. This isn't just a high school, have fun, whatever. This is legit. It's not a joke. So when he said that, it really clicked something in my brain and probably other guys is that's okay. This is serious. And they're like Scotty, Miggs, Daryl, Ronnie, Goves, those guys they're the ones who we built the culture, but they set the standard, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's like, yeah, they put it into place for you guys, and you guys followed up by building it up with just the product you would put on the ice, just showing up to work every day, which is great. It's awesome for sure. And we talked about tournaments earlier. We talked about the Moncton tournament, going to Nashville in that 2017-18 season, going to the U.S. Just an unbelievable experience. I'm sure, pretty sure what you guys got to see Vanderbilt play in a college football game. Did you guys get to see a Preds game as well? I mean, a lot of great stuff. Just talk about that experience.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, we had a good time, but every person's parent came on that trip. I think they had 10 times more of fun than we did. But what a town. That place is, it's rocking. Just live music. It's like we took a bus. So we bused 27 hours down to the States. So for guys like me and you and our size, sitting in a bus chair isn't too bad because we have a lot of leg room. But guys like Gags, Younger, those guys were literally laying on the floor. So, but at the same time, was it uncomfortable driving 27 hours? Yes. But it built that culture. It built that team camaraderie, going out for dinner, going to Denny's. Like I know when we went back to Moncton, I remember I grabbed Evan Rogers. I said, "Hey, Ev, we're going to see a movie. Who wants to come?" No one else wanted to go see the movie. But I said, "Hey, team building. We're out in Moncton. What the hell else are we going to do? Let's go see a movie."
Right.
When we went to Nashville, we would all go out for dinner together. We'd have such a good time on the bus, the hotels, walking around Nashville. Like it, like one thing I do remember from Nashville that another set something off my head, how close this team is. I'm allergic to peanuts. Okay. So I'm deadly allergic. If I eat a peanut, I'm dead. I'm dying. So we're walking in this like Texas Roadhouse, but it wasn't named Texas Roadhouse. So anyone that's been there, you walk in, there's peanuts like everywhere across the floor. So we walk in this restaurant. Everyone has reservations for us, the families, everybody. We walk in. I look, peanuts everywhere. I'm like, oh, jeez. No, I can't eat here. So I walk out. I tell the coaches, I tell people, I say, "Hey, I'm going to go to Denny's. I'm going to go get some burgers. You guys stay here. You got rezos. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad." A couple of the guys, I think it was Quinn, Gags, maybe Gladys, said, "Nope. The parents can stay here. We're going with Des to get some food with him." Because he can't eat here. He's like, we can't eat. If he can't eat here, we can't eat here. And I was like, God damn. I was like, damn, this team is a bunch of brothers. Everyone's got their back. So that was nice.
Yeah, that's unreal. It's just when you not being able to eat in that restaurant due to just something you have no control over. And the boys like Cal, Gags, and just all the other boys that stepped up and came with you, just that's an amazing experience, an amazing story. First time I'm hearing it, which is it's great that that happened. But yeah, for this team, just the experience of going out to play against American teams in that Nashville tournament, just what was that like getting to experience the type of style, the type of brand of hockey that those teams had to offer for you guys?
Yeah, it was they were quick. So the way these two schools is Brother Rice was one of the teams, and then another private school from Illinois. So these two teams had they were like, they got JV and then they got varsity teams.
Yeah.
In the States. So we were playing against, I believe I think we were playing against both JV teams. And like these kids were sick. They're sick. They were pretty nasty. And I believe the periods were different too. Like, I don't think we got a flood. I think we played 14, 14, 14. So that was weird. So you're not in that intermission. You're not being able to just recoup, get the legs back. You had to just snap, 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 play, play, play. But playing those American teams, one thing I noticed when I was there, and then when I played like on the high school elite team, I noticed when we go down to the States, a lot of those kids play baseball. So when a puck goes flying in the air, they're not waiting, they're not swinging their stick. They all take their hand off, pull it down, move it, quick transition. Right. So one thing I noticed that was interesting. Not a lot of hitting, very chippy. A lot of stick work there, just spearing, slashing everybody, not really throwing body hits. But it was a really good experience and test for our team to go down, play some guys from the States. I don't think we did too bad. We finished third, and we lost the other two games. We lost for like by, I don't know, 1 or 2, 3 goals. So it wasn't too bad. It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, for sure. Just getting to experience some new styles of hockey, just like you said, with the different things these teams were doing. Getting to experience the city of Nashville, pretty great experience. So just after that tournament ended, I mean, one player that had a phenomenal season that year was Evan Rogers, and just a lot of your rookies stepped up, like Daniel Aspinall is one guy that comes to mind, but just those experiences of going through that tournament and going to Nashville and coming back, just the learning experiences that you guys had, just talk about how that benefited your team just moving forward into the later parts of the season, getting to have an experience like playing in that tournament.
Yeah, no, for sure. It really helped us out because, like I say, almost all these tournaments we go and we have a little, at least for myself, I see there's a little turning point that you notice, okay, this group is we're collaborative one. We're all one team, one group. Because I do remember in Nashville, which is deep in the South, me and Nick Fernandez, the two colored guys on the team, we were getting some comments, whatever. And a lot of guys on the team, especially the rookies too, they realized, they're like, whoa, this isn't good. So they're stepping up for us. And I think that really changed our season right there because it brought everyone together. Not just like me and Fern's little situation, but being together and all that. And nice thing about tournaments is your league stats don't matter. So you're not playing in league play. You don't have to, the pressure's not on to get to 2 points. It's like, we're going on a tournament. We win, we don't have a good time. But it gives these kids and ourselves too a lot more leeway. Like try something new, try something different. They'll change up line combinations in tournaments, see who works well with whoever. And Danon, Alex, Julian, those guys really, they're adapting really well, and they changed their game a little bit playing with different people. And when we came back, we were a real tight-knit group, and as well as all the younger guys were better players. We were getting better, and it really benefited us for sure.
Just going through those experiences of having racial remarks, I can't even imagine just the types of words that have been said to you in the past in hockey. Just have you found that the game's been changing a bit from throughout the years as time's going along, as people are getting more educated, or do you still see in your experience personally, just the same amount of racism in hockey?
You know what? Towards different races, yes. Towards others, no. So to the black guys on the ice, not much is said other than when we went down to Nashville, had our little incidents, whatever. But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of this part is, so in Manitoba, there's a lot of Indigenous people. Mm-hmm. So I've noticed for a fact is sometimes I'm not saying it's guys on my team, I'm saying in general, is instead of picking on the black guy who they know that's a no-go, that's a no-no, and it should be a no-no for everything, some people tend to maybe say something to the Indigenous people. So is it changing? Yes. Is it changing for everybody necessarily? No, I'll put it that way. But it's getting a lot better. So no one's dropping homophobic slurs on the ice anymore. No one's dropping much racial stuff anymore, which is great. It's how it should be. So from my years growing up and going to different places to play, and the States it's a whole different animal. I'll admit that. But in Canada and Winnipeg, I know for myself, I've heard maybe a couple things. That's it in my last 5, 6, 7 years. But definitely seen some other races get some hatred on, which is it's awful. It's awful. Like I know I played on a team, and I won't say which one. We had one guy say something towards Indigenous guy. He came back to the bench, and I went to him and I said, "Hey, if I'm on your team and I'm your buddy, and you're gonna go say that to that guy, I'm not letting that fly. That's hypocritical. Because it's not fair that you're gonna treat me like your buddy, but then you're gonna go to that guy and say something that's pretty mean and not right. You can't be saying that. So cut it." And ever since then, no, never heard nothing else. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think it's just all about just being educated on just everyone's situation in the world, because like everyone isn't like, oh, I'll speak for myself. I'm super privileged just with the situation where I've been brought up, just stuff like that. I know that that's not like that for a lot of people, and just I think that is disgusting in terms of just in hockey how racial slurs all are still used out there, no matter what the race is, if it's blacks, indigenous, whatever it is, even homophobic slurs. It's not right, and I'm happy to see that we're kind of transitioning into where none of it is acceptable, and there's always going to be idiots out there that are going to drop nasty words, but just the general sense is that it's not right anymore, and that's just fantastic to see. But moving into something a bit more lighthearted, even though it,
Yeah.
even though it, yeah, we got a bit deep. We got a bit deep, but just moving into something a bit more lighthearted, but still something a bit sad. Just you guys end up, going to the semifinals once again. I don't know which team you guys lost to in that one, in your final year, but just Sanford, yeah. So losing to Sanford in those semifinals, just your last ever game as a Cuda, it was at Southdale, right? Losing that game too, just the journey you went on in those 3 seasons for it to end like that. Just what was it like when that clock hit zeros and you knew it was your time as a Cuda hockey player was over?
Talk about a close series. That was like we had high hopes for that team. We were rolling in the playoffs pretty well. We're on a winning streak. I know I got suspended in the first round of playoffs, so I was so mad at myself for that, because I couldn't play one game, and that could have been one more game to play as a Cuda. And then we go play Sanford, and we're in Sanford. That barn, they got great fans too. They're on you, they're yelling and they're loud. We go there, we were tied 4-4. Gilly sets me up with a sick plague. Way tied it up. We go to the bench, OT, and they get one in from the point, goes in through some guy's legs. 5-4 OT loss. That's tough. And then the next game we go to Southdale. I kid you not, there had to have been 600 people at that game. And we had a power play for 5 minutes, and we couldn't score. And I thought that was a turning point for sure. And then we lost 1-0 on a PK goal. And that was just a dagger. Like seeing the clock run down, the horn go, and you're just like, the waterworks started to fly. Because I remember I sat on the bench after the game, and like after the handshake, I go to the bench. I'm just chilling there looking up. I'm like, wow, that's it. Time flies. So when we go back to the room, it was super emotional. Everyone's crying. It was tough. It sucked, because you're like, wow, this one stage in my life is done. The last 3-4 years, all I knew and all I did was high school hockey, same guys, and it's done. So it's oh man, that room was tough. Like walking in there, everyone's all sad, crying. But at the end of the day, we told the guys, so we went out after and we were telling the rookies, hey, you see how emotional we got? Just remember, it goes by fast. I tried telling Millie, Julie, and all these guys, embrace the moment, enjoy the moment, because it's gonna go. It's gonna boom, 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 done. You're done, and you can't take that back. You can't go back. So while you're here, enjoy it. And I think that's what we did as a culture. Everyone there was enjoy the moment. Let's do the little things. Doing pregame chants and the Cuda cap, all that stuff. It's just memories. And that's what it is. That's all high school hockey is for, is to build friendships. Like, yeah, the hockey was great. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
But most of the guys I hang out with now and talk to in our fantasy pool are all guys we played on the belly team. So it's about enjoying the moment, creating friendships, and then when that clock hits zero, it was like, wow, the hockey's done. But guess what? A new chapter in my life starting, and the guys I'm with here, just because the clock hits zero, doesn't mean I'm not going to be friends with these guys anymore. They're still my brother. I still see them all the time. So it's kind of positive, negative, pros and cons, but it was, that was tough to see the clock go out for the hockey career. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great that like you said, like I know all about like you're still friends with those guys because like we're in the same fantasy hockey group chat, and it's a great way to stay in touch for sure. And it's great that you're still staying in touch with guys like Kel, Gags, Phil, Maddie, just all the boys that you've had a chance to play with. But last question before we go to break and transition into talking about your career a bit. Just you had a career year in that 2017-18 season in the regular season. 8 goals, 8 assists, 16 points in 24 games with 22 penalty minutes. Seems like everything for you started really coming together in that season in terms of your production. Just speak about the opportunity you got in that third and final season to show your best stuff on this team.
Yeah, that was one of my most fun years, like offensively. And like I said before, I started on the bottom. Did I think myself, hey, this is where I'm going to be in 3 years? No, I wanted to work my way up. I knew my role, but working hard and people seeing it around you, the coaches seeing you, they want to give you opportunities. So that year I got put on a line with, it was me and Gillespie. So this is funny. We're at the first game of the year, first practice, and they're like, okay, we're going lines. They line one, line two. And then it's like Plante, Gillespie. I'm like, ho, let's go. Two fastest guys on the team in the league. And then they go Connor Rodriguez. I'm like, oh God, are you kidding me? Oh, come on. And like I remember I probably shouldn't have said out loud, but I just dropped I was like, oh God. So Connor, if anyone doesn't know, greatest guy, great hockey player now too. But he came from A3 or A2 or something. And he's like 6'4", big guy, but he couldn't move. He couldn't skate. Like he was not a great skater. And he's came a real long way now. He's a hell of a hockey player now, but they put me and Gilly with the slowest guy on the team, which at the time I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Come on. But then he said, hey, Des, if the kid plays with the fastest two guys on the team, he's gonna get speed, he's gonna get better. I'm like, okay, that works. So me and Gil were kind of mentoring him that first 5-10 games, and it paid off dividends for me and for him because I had to learn how to slow my game down. He had to learn how to kind of pull his weight and get a little bit faster. So that was a lot of fun. And then towards the end of the year, I got put on line with two of my best buddies, Kel and Gilly. So those two were always together, and I got put on their wing, and my role was get her deep and grind them out past the Quinn. And he'd make his play. Him and Gil do his little thing. I'd sit in front of the net, tip, 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 and got a couple goals off that. But yeah, I got a lot bigger opportunity. Got to play some power play time. That was fun. And I was kind of pissed I got taken off the PK. That was my favorite part about playing hockey, was penalty killing. So, but hey, PP's all right too.
Yeah, it's not too bad when you get to play on the PP, and just having a guy like getting to play with like guys like you play with like Gilly, Connor Rodriguez, Clint Kell, who watching that kid play, it's like magic every time that kid touches the puck. But it's you guys had a very entertaining program throughout the 3 years, and if I'm not mistaken, you were the A in the final season, right?
Yeah. Got it was me as an A, or Quincy, me A, Gags, and Glash as the other A's. So that was another good part. So learning from culture, like the Maliks, the Doms, it was okay, let's bring this to these guys. What I taught, what I learned, maybe bring something different that I think would work out. And I think starting with Kel and the rest of us, I think we did a pretty good job keeping everyone in check, everyone feeling a part of the team. Like if you got a guy like when I was playing with Quinn and Gilly on the first line there's a guy on the fourth line who's a rookie. He's all sour about being there. He's not used to it. I'd go talk to him. Hey, man, I was here literally 2 years ago, not even. Just because you're here now, it doesn't mean you're going to be here later. You got 3 more years, buddy. Work, learn, get better, and then you're gonna go like this, bang, 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 bang. Like one guy, Evan Rogers, you said he was our MVP that year. He had what, 49 points? I think something like that.
Yeah, something crazy. Yeah.
And where he started out his career, the fourth line.
Yeah.
The fourth line. He grinded it out. And then he got his opportunity, and that's all you need. Once you get that opportunity, you can't let it go. So when the coaches gave me some more opportunity, I said, all right, well, I don't want to go back down to the green bean line. I want to stay up here. So I got to work my tail off and help my teammates, no matter what it is, in the room, on the ice. And yeah, I give the coaches a lot of credit for giving me opportunity to play up in the lineup.
Yeah. It's amazing, and seems like you grew so much, not only as a hockey player, but as a person throughout just your 3 years of playing Cuda hockey. And Dessy, I'm looking at the time right now. I said that we'd be on here for like 45 minutes. It's about almost 55 minutes in this interview, so I'm gonna ask you a question and just see what you think about it. Just we could have you on, for next Thursday's show and talk about your MMJHL career.
We'll keep the MM for next interview.
Yeah.
Well, there's a good ton of stories from that one. That's a whole.
Yeah. So strictly Cuda hockey today, and we talked to just Béliveau Barracudas hockey team legend, their boys hockey team today, Desmond Plante, or of course I like to call him Dessy. And yeah, it was just great just getting to talk to him and just go through his career today in the Winnipeg High School Hockey League. And yeah, he's going to be joining me next week as one of the guests on the Thursday show. I'm going to let Dessy go now. And we're going to go to our final commercial break in today's edition of Coffee with Graeme. I'll be right back. Dessy won't be with me, but I'll be right back with you guys to give some final words on today's edition of Coffee with Graeme here on ASTV Productions. But first, of course, another word from our sponsors here on today's episode.
See you next week, G-Show.
See you next week, buddy. No problem. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Of course, Dessy Plante, former Béliveau Barracudas forward, joined me on today's episode to talk about his career with the Barracudas. I want to thank Dessy for coming on and being the guest in today's episode. I also want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in today, and I also want to thank our sponsors in Anada, Fabricland, Winkler, and Evolve Green for sponsoring today's episode. I'll be back on the network next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time for another edition of Coffee with Graeme. It's going to be a live edition of the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can check it out on our Facebook at ASTV Productions, or check it out on our website at astvproductions.com on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. But until then, folks, I've been your host, Graeme Forsyth of Coffee with Graeme, signing off now. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Stay safe out there and have a wonderful weekend as well. I'll see you Tuesday.